soldier that does ASMR to make you relaxed, motivated, and ready to get after it. What's today's topic? Today's topic, once again, is motivation and fitness. Okay, because one thing I have found is that if you're not fit, you're gonna die. I'm being hyperbolic, yes, but in my line of field, regardless of job that you have, right? In the Army, it's called MOS. Well, in the military, it's called an MOS, Military Occupational Specialty, right? It's what you do in the Army. Me, I do nerd stuff. I work on computers and radios. But I'll tell you this, one thing I learned early on in my deployment to Iraq, and something my buddies in the same similar career field have also learned, is that bullets don't discriminate. Okay, so if you are a signal, that's what it's called, signal, right? Because there's a signal involved, MOS. Bullets don't discriminate. They don't care if you're an administrative person. They don't care if you're a cook. Bullets don't discriminate. So you need to stay fit because your life depends on it and your buddy's life depends on it. And it's just going to be more random rambling than anything. I'm just going to be rambling on nutritional and fitness stuff that really works for me in my 32 years of age, almost 33. Good God. Okay, you have to remember that diet is everything. I'm going to start with a diet, okay? Because one thing I've noticed is that when I eat junk food or fast food or processed food for the most part, I do feel a bit more sluggish. I feel a little bit more tired sometimes, a little bit more lethargic, less energetic, and that's not in the state that I want to be. I want to be at a perpetual state of readiness. But that's not always possible, right? Because when I was 27, 28, I could just get up and go. I could just get up and start running 2, 3, 4, 5 miles. Now, I have to stretch, warm up after the warm up, before the run, and that just comes with age, right? That just comes with age, and you're still able to get there. But if something was to happen, I would be able to go there. You just have to get your mentality right. But the kind of foods that I like to eat are, the diet that I go is a very paleo diet, right? It's meats, vegetables, a couple fruits. I try to cut out sugars altogether. I do have my vices. It's a new flavor, by the way, Ultra Peach Keen. I should be a sponsor for Monster, man. If anybody works at Monster watches this channel, sponsor me, please. Because I drink these things like hotcakes, my wife too. I try to cut out as many sugars as I can and as many what I call unhealthy carbohydrates. That's, starches or, bread. I'll eat pasta, every now and then, not all the time. But it all starts with the kinds of foods that you're eating. And I try to eat high protein and lean meats. And if I do eat carbs, there's carbs in everything, right? We need carbs. Carbs are like that instant fuel for our muscles, right? So I try to eat oatmeal. I try to get a lot of my carbs from vegetables. And one that I really found helped with my gut health and with my energy levels was spinach. Believe it or not, I would boil some spinach, take it out, put a little bit of salt on it because spinach on its own is gross. And I would eat that with some chicken or fish or turkey and half a cup of rice. Every now and then I'll try to sprinkle on some slices of avocados, but those are super expensive. And if you don't eat them by 3:57 p.m. on Thursday, they will go bad. So avocados sometimes are unreasonable because you'll buy them and they're not quite ready. And then if you don't eat them at 3:57 on Thursday, that tiny window where they're perfectly ripe, they will go bad. So that's for nutrition, right? You gotta hydrate. You gotta drink a lot of water, right? Your muscles are, I think, 70 to 80% water, something along those lines. So hydration is super important, right? Without it, you're gonna cramp up while you're trying to perform some physical activity. Your organs aren't going to function as well. So drink water. Okay, beer is not water. I used to have a first sergeant years ago. They used to tell us that beer is not water. Now for the actual fitness, the physical fitness portion of it, I try to incorporate some strength training alongside high intensity interval training, right? Or CrossFit, however you want to look at it. One, because you have to have some foundation, some strength to be able to move objects in a functional manner, at least for the military, in a functional manner. Can I carry these massive fuel cans, that weigh 25, 30 pounds each, 200 yards that way? Can I do that? Can I carry my buddy who's unconscious or has a broken leg or two broken legs? Can I carry them with their gear on, their load, 200 yards that way? And these are all things that we have to train on, Can I do a pull-up? Can I push myself off the ground with my vest on, with my gear on? And these are all, they seem very, very trivial things, but you don't want to be found in a situation where you need to perform that and you can't do it because you haven't practiced it or because you don't have the strength or conditioning to do it. And it's kind of hard to explain because I've never been in a situation. Luckily, when I deployed, I didn't have to carry anybody, 200 meters, 200 yards, or anything, right? My deployment was a pretty calm one. There was no deaths, no losses. It was also towards the trail end of Iraq, so our job was just to close down. But you want to be ready because that can always happen, And if it would absolutely just destroy me inside if I lost a friend because I couldn't carry them or because I couldn't physically perform. I'm by no means the strongest or fittest person around, but I will do my best to ensure that if the situation ever does happen, my battle buddies, my co-workers, right? We call them battle buddies. I will do my best to ensure that they stay alive, right? So you have to stay fit or you're gonna die. There's other aspects to it, obviously. You have to be able to shoot, you have to be able to communicate, ask for backup, air support, medevacs. So you have to be able to do those other things as well. But I think it all starts with you. Fundamentally, each individual, can they perform this physical task? Because if I get shot, or if I break my legs, or if I'm unconscious, I want to know that the person to my left and right of me can drag me to safety or carry me to safety, right? With all my gear on. And I think, that comes down to the individual, for one, and then the unit. If the unit does not push that kind of mentality of stay fit or die. And for the most part, what I have found is young soldiers will not take it upon themselves to train that because they don't know what to expect if they've never deployed, or if they've never had that senior tell them, hey, this is what you need to train on to ensure that you and your friends come back home alive. So that's really what motivates me at the end of the day to stay fit and stay active. Also, I think a bigger piece for me is that when I was younger, I was a bigger kid, and I got bullied for it, and I had to do something different, Even my early years in the army, I was big, right? I wasn't crazy big, but I was still overweight, and I didn't get bullied for it, but I would still fail, like the height and weight and the tape test, which measures your body fat percentage, right? The army was saying, hey, you're too big, dude. And looking back, I was very unhealthy. I was out of shape physically. I couldn't perform. If my friends needed me to save them, I probably wouldn't have been able to do so. Let's put it that way. So that was a big part of it. I never want to become that person again. I want to become the best version of myself, right? Both physically, intellectually, and spiritually. I want my co-workers, right? My friends in battles, my battle buddies, to know that if they need to rely on me to carry them or drag them to safety, that I can do it, that I am capable, even if I'm hurt myself, right? And that a lot of the times when we're performing these physical activities, you get to a point where you just want to quit. You just want to stop because you're exhausted. You can't catch your breath. Your ankle hurts, right? Maybe you twisted your ankle a little bit, or maybe the rucksack is too heavy on your back, right? We have to train beyond that threshold of pain, because there's a big difference between pain, discomfort, and actual injury. Yes, discomfort can lead to injury. So you have to draw that line, but at the same time, I heard a Navy SEAL say this once. He says, when we think we're done, we are not done. Mentally, we are 70% done, because our brains and our bodies, they use a safeguard to protect our bodies, right? To keep us inside our little comfort zone box, right? They try to keep us inside that little box. And how does our brain do that? It tells you, you need to stop. This hurts. Owie. Please stop. Right? Whatever excuses your brain can come up with, it will come up with it. And it's up to you to really build that mental fortitude and mentality to kind of push beyond that discomfort, right? You have to learn to be uncomfortable. You have to learn to be uncomfortable, because if I'm doing a ruck march, it's gonna become uncomfortable. I'm walking 12 miles with a 35, 45, 55 pound rucksack on my back. That's not comfortable for anybody. It's gonna start to compress on your back, right? You might start feeling on your hips a little bit. Your shins might tighten up. If it's going up and down the hills, it's gonna put pressure on your knees. But that's why you gotta train, so you can slowly build up that endurance and that strength and those joints and those muscles and the nutrition, right? You gotta eat right so that your body can perform right. So there's a lot that goes into it, especially the mentality of it. Because if your mentality is not there, that you can do it from the beginning, you're probably not going to do it, because you've already made up your mind that it's too hard. You've probably already made up your mind that it's too uncomfortable. You understand what I'm saying? So Guys, stay fit or die. Okay? Pretend there's gonna be some kind of, Book of Eli style of apocalypse, and you're gonna have to get in shape to survive the apocalypse. Right? I just want to be in shape so that if anything ever in my life happens, I'm ready. If I need to fight somebody because they came into my house, I'm ready. Right? But that's on the individual. I will never shame someone for not wanting to pursue the physical aspect of life, right? That because people want to pursue different things. But for me, it's an important aspect of my life. It's a priority in my life. There's 24 hours in a day, and I try to dedicate about 1 to 2 hours a day to my fitness. Like I said, it could be strength training or some kind of high intensity training. But again, the choice is yours. Okay, the choice is yours. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, clicking the video, and subscribing to the channel if you are new. If you are returning, then welcome back. And thank you to my Patreon platoon. You guys, y'all are the goats, alright? Y'all are the best. I'm glad to have you a part of the platoon. And I will see you guys in the next one. Remember, stay fit or die. I've got your 6. You guys have a good night.